Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the Compassionate, the Merciful. My name is Ibrahim Hooper. I'm National Communications Director for the Council on American Islamic Relations. That's I-B-R-A-H-I-M, Hooper, H-O-O-P-E-R. I want to thank you all for coming here today. We're here to call on the Fairfax County officials and police to renew the search for Ahmed Hashim Ibrahim, who was murdered in January and his body ultimately dumped in a landfill in this region. And there was a search that was undertaken, but we believe that search was obviously insufficient because his body was not found. And, you know, as any family would be concerned about their loved one who needed a decent burial and some closure for the family, I think anybody of any faith, of any background, would understand the trauma that the family is suffering at this moment and understand why we're calling for a renewal of the search. We did send, CAIR did send a letter to Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis last month asking a number of questions. And those questions have largely been unanswered. We did receive a response, but it was more or less a vague, generic response. We had asked, did the police follow the search as recommended by experts? What were the expert recommendations for this? We understand that these searches don't happen that often, but what do experts recommend in these cases? The family reports that the police department employee informed that they had roughly 1,400 tons of trash to go through in April by the last day of the search, but they only went through 500 tons of trash. Why was that limited? Was there an evaluation done of this search and whether proper procedures were followed? Were dog sniffing dogs brought in? Many times in searches for bodies in earthquake situations or other situations, humans body sniffing dogs are brought in. Was that done in this case? We'd like to know the answers to all of these questions, and we'd like the search reopened, and if it isn't reopened, we'd like Fairfax County officials to demand that it be opened. We'll hear from a number of people related to this issue. First, we'll hear from Mohammed Saifuddin, the family's attorney.
Thank you and good afternoon. My name is Mohammed Saifuddin. I represent the family pro bono during these challenging and difficult times. We're here for one reason and one purpose only, and that is to encourage and ask that the police department in Fairfax County resume the search for Ahmad's body. The family has been through a lot. They've lost their son. All they're asking for right now is some closure and to give their son a proper burial. They recognize, understand, and thank the efforts that the police has done so far in the search. But as previously mentioned, there are unanswered questions, and these questions are still outstanding. And the family believes that had the police continued with the search, Ahmad's body would have been found. We know that Ahmad's body is located at a landfill in King George. The police conducted a search. They moved quite a bit of time of material, but they have not gotten to the point where Ahmad's body is found. We believe that on the last day of the search, the officers told the father that there are about 1,400 tons left. However, that day they were only able to go to 500 tons. Now, we don't know why or what happened. So one of the things that we're asking for is communications and questions from the police department. The second thing is also we're asking that the elected officials who represent Mr. Ahmad, the family of Mr. Ahmad, demand that the search continue. This is a simple ask, a simple request that I think can be granted. We understand from multiple sources within the police department that the reason the search was stopped is for resource issues. resource issues. Fairfax County is a blessed county with many resources, and we believe that it has the resources to continue the search. If resources or money is an issue, the family, with the support of the community, will be able to raise money to continue the search. But at the end of the day, this is to bring Ahmad's remains home and give the family some closure. This is a simple ask. This is a plea to the public. This is a plea to the elected officials and to the chief of police. Please continue the search for Mr. Ahmad. Bye. Thank you.
Oh, and can you spell your name?
Sure. My name is Mohammed Saifuddin. It's spelled Mohamed. Last name is Saifuddin. Seifeldin.
Next, we'll hear from Omar Rashid, family friend and community advocate. And if you can spell your name.
Thank you guys for coming out today. My name is Omar Rashid. It's spelled O-M-E-R. Last name Rashid, R-E-S-H-I-D. Greetings to all. Greetings to all and assalamu alaikum, or in English, peace be upon you. I mention peace because it's something that the family and community of our dear brother, Ahmed Hassim Ibrahim, also known as Kareem, has not found. Peace that was taken away when Ahmed was tragically murdered and his body was so wickedly disposed of. The suffering of this family has gone for far too long. From a missing person to a homicide victim in a blink of an eye. This has been a never-ending grief with no closure in sight for this family. The agony resides as an entire community watches their police force, meant to protect and serve, give up in locating the body of our beloved young man. Who must we turn to if not our police department, who couldn't stop the murder, but can at least, the very least, find the body of our brother? A few months back, I attended Ahmed's/Kareem's funeral when my family and I watched as so many people, not just the Fairfax community, but so many other surrounding communities, show up for him and his family. A true testimony to his wonderful character, loved by so many. Which is why it is baffling to watch as the Fairfax County Police so easily give up in the search for his body. The Fairfax Muslim community deserves better. The friends and family of Ahmed/Kareem deserve better, and Kareem deserves better. It begs the question if perhaps this is a declaration to how a young black Muslim man would be treated by this police department. Does FCPD not believe in justice for all? Does Kareem/Ahmed not deserve to be found? We hear your message loud and clear, and we do not accept it. It is the duty of the Fairfax County Police Department to seek justice for all, and so we call on you to renew your search for Ahmed Hassim Ibrahim and to provide the warranted closure that this family deserves. And so I end the speech with the same way I began, by saying Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon you, while our community awaits for you to restore some peace into the family of Ahmed Hassim Ibrahim by continuing to search for his body. Thank you.
Yes, I think it brings up the point that Fairfax County officials need to ask themselves, what would they do if it was a member of their family? They would move heaven and earth to find the body for a respectful burial and closure for the family. Do the same for this family. Next we'll hear from his father, Hashim Ibrahim. And if you can spell your name.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Hashim Ibrahim. I'm the father of Kareem Ibrahim. My name is spelled H-A-S-H-E-E-M. Last name Ibrahim, E-B-R-H-I-M. First, I want to start with thanking the officers. They were on the field looking for my somebody, and I appreciate all the effort they did. Second, I believe the decision came to stop the search was not among the officers themselves. It came from top officials in the police department. I was following the search day by day. And when they start the search first, I was there. They start moving heavy, using heavy equipment to move some about 9 days worth of trash on top of my son's body. And they stopped the search for like about 19 days to train some officers to come back and continue the search. In a meeting, they were telling me it will be about 10 days to look for his body. After that, there will be an evaluation to see like how far they went in the search. But unfortunately, like before even the search ended, I received a call from the two detectives. They were handling the investigation. I appreciate their effort for finding the people who killed my son. And I was told that this search will stop in this coming 3 days. And I was asking why would that be? And I get an answer from a supervisor that they have issue with resources and manpower. And the last day on the field I was there, and I asked one of the officers like how much trash you guys have to go through, and he was telling me about 1,400 tons left. We could only go through 5 tons. And anyway, the search had ended on April the 8th. I reached to the chief of the police. He came over to my house. I spoke that. After that, I tried to get in touch with him. I sent him many text messages asking me why he stopped the search. I told him I have this information from the officers. They were on the field, and I have information even from the expert. They conducted the search. They were telling me this search should have lasted about 30 days, even by hand. And this did not change the chief decision, and I'm asking respectfully if he can reopen the search and make another decision to start the search again. But up to now, he never responded to my text messages. He never called me back again. And at the end, I appreciate everybody here, and I hope this will make the chief to make the right decision and restart the search.
We have his mother here too, but she prefers not to speak. That's all we have. If there are any questions, I'll take them now.
So I wanted to get some reaction to what we received from the police department. Among that was they said they removed 28,000 tons and processed 6,400 tons a day for the days that they worked. So I want to start there because what we're hearing from you guys and what we're hearing from them are different.
So as noted earlier, the question is not about the police integrity's efforts that have been taken. It's how long or how much waste they had left to go and why did they go through it? And did they follow the expert's recommendation in doing that? What happened during the evaluation or reevaluation after they moved the first degree? This information that we don't have answers to, and that's what we're asking for. So no one is doubting what the police has done so far, and the family is very thankful for that, including the work that the Commonwealth Attorney Office is doing as well.
And I guess, just asking further, like how far do you want this to go? Like, do you want it 30 days, or do you want it to go on until a body is found? And talk about what you're looking for.
Right. So I mean, situation vary. I think having information would have helped us assess that. That information has not been provided. We've received partial information, But one of the other issues is the conflict in information received from within the department itself. As the father explained, one individual or one source told him that on the last day, April 8th, they have about 1,400 tons left to go of where they expect the body to be, but they can only go to 500. So what happened and why? We also heard from a lieutenant that the reason they stopped is for resource purposes. We offered what can the community do to assist with resources, and that's something that we're willing to help with as well. But we just want the search to continue, to at least go through the waste where the remains are expected to be. We're not saying cast a wide net all over. I think they've done a decent job of identifying where the body or remains are expected to be, and we just wanted to get to the bottom of it. So that's what we're seeing.
Did they give you an estimated figure what it would cost to finish the job?
We did not get a figure, but we understand from what they were presenting that they have spent about $350,000 so far. And again, if money is an issue, the community is willing to step up and put that forward. But we need the police commitment to continue the search for the remaining area.
Are there any other legal avenues for you, or is it really you have to get somebody in the government, someone in the police department to restart this?
So this is a very good question, and it's a very challenging one as well. There may be another legal avenue privately, but it is a long shot. It's a timely consuming effort, and it's a costly one as well. As we've noted that this takes some specialized training before the search can continue. Also, the landfill is operated by Waste Management, and we have reached out to them. They said that they're willing to cooperate with the police only, and they decline to cooperate with the family privately. So, to deal with that, you need to go to the courts, and that in itself can be time consuming. And time is really important here for the following reason. The landfill will likely continue to dump waste on where the remains are, so you'll have to restart the search again, which is not something or situation that we want to be in. That's why the most feasible and viable way forward is for the police to come back and continue the search for Kareem's remains. And that's what we're asking for. And again, if it's a resource issue, the community is willing to step up, and we are grateful for what the police has done so far.
And so the legal avenue, would that be a civil lawsuit of some sort or something?
That would likely be a civil claim asking the court to enjoin Waste Management from adding more waste to where the remains are or should be. And then the second part is for the family to privately enter the property where Waste Management operates and do a search. But again, you will need those companies that the police work with to continue with the search. And again, that is a time-consuming process, and it's a really long process, and that's why we think the police should come back and help in this situation. But this is really a long shot. This is something that we may do, but we're really praying that the police and the elected officials of Fairfax County will help the family in this community in these times.
I should ask too, have you reached out to any other, lawmakers in Fairfax County, and what type of response are you getting?
The family has reached out to some members of the Board of Supervisors and the chairman, Jeff McKay. We received letters of support and condolences, but nothing productive to get us where we need to be finding Kareem's remains. That's what the family is asking for. They want closure.
Just want to calling on the Waste Management as they cooperate with the police to help us out not to add more trash where my son could be. Spoke to the manager at the field, and he is very helpful, and he promised not to add trash. But I don't know how long that will last. But I'm calling the owners, the managers on the Waste Management company not to add trash over my summer. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, thank you for coming, and we hope they'll have some positive resolution in this case, inshallah, God willing.